Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Saenz and today I'm going to present General Adaptation Syndrome. Let's start. So our table of contents first is the introduction. I'm going to explain about the stages, the consequence of this stress, the how are the more common stressors, the low task of control, some individual differences, how to remove the stress, how to withdraw from the stressors, what is the method to control the stress, and receive support, social support. Have you heard the word stress before? Of course you have. Now it is one of the most common words around the world, around us. This word has been known for more than 500 years, but lately it is much more commonly. Stress describes the human response to harsh environment conditions. However, it was not until the 1930s when the Canadian researcher Hans Sale, he is more recognized for because he's like described as the father of stress research. First document, so he called the stress as general adaptation syndrome. So now I'm going to explain about the stages of stress. It consists in three parts. The first one is the alarm reaction. It occurs when a threat or challenge activates our physiological stress. The individual energy level and coping effectiveness decrease in response to the initial shock. So people are like, what is going on? In the second stage is the resistance. This activates various biochemical, psychological, and behavioral mechanisms that give the individual more energy and engage coping mechanisms to overcome or remove the source of stress. To focus energy on the source of the stress, the body reduces resources to the immune system during this stage. So it's super common in this stage that people goes illness with flu, with like a super tired, because all the energy is in this moment like a resistance. And the last one is the exhaustion. So people are extremely tired because the people like is passing all this stage. So the last one is when people has more resistance to this capacity and they experience prolonged stress and are really big illnesses. So what is the consequence of this stress? Many people experience tensions, headaches, muscle pains. They are related with problems mainly due to muscle contractions from the stress response. Studies have found that high stress levels also contribute to cardiovascular disease, including heart attacks and strokes, and may be associated with some forms of cancer. Stress also produces various physiological consequences, such as job dissatisfaction, moodiness, depression, and lower organization commitment. Furthermore, various behavioral outcomes have been linked to high or persistent stress, including lower job performance, poor decision making, and increased workplace accidents and aggressions behavior. Most people react to stress through fight or flight. So increased abstinence in another outcome because it's a form of flight. A particular stress consequence called job burnout occurs when people experience emotional exhaustion, cynicism, and reduced feeling of personal accomplishments. Now I'm going to highlight three of the most common stressors in the workplace. One is harassment in severity, work overload, and the next slide I'm going to present a lack of task control. One of the fastest growing sources of workplace stress is physiological harassment. Physiological harassment includes repeat hostile or unwanted conduct. verbal comments, actions, and gestures that undermine an employer's dignity or physiological or physical integrity. On the other hand, work overload exists three different theories that why people are overloaded. One explanation is the combined effects of technology and globalization. People increasingly work with coworkers because they are in distinct time zones and they're constantly on communication habits make it difficult to separate work from personal life. The second factor is that many people are caught up in consumerism. They want to buy more goods and services, and doing so requires more income through longer work hours. And the third one is called ideal work norm, is that professionals expect themselves and others to work longer hours. For many working much longer than normal is a medal of honor, a symbol of their superhumans' ability to perform above and beyond the others. One of the most important findings emerging from stress research is that employers are more stressed when they lack control over how and when they perform their tasks as well as a lack control over the pace of work activity. Work is potentially more stressful when it is paced by a machine. Involves monitoring equipment of their work schedules is controlled by someone else. Low task control is a stressor because employees face high workloads without the ability to adjust the pace of the load of their own energy, attention span, and the other sources. Furthermore, the degree to which low task control is a stressor increases with the burden of responsibility to the employee must carry. Assembly line workers have low task control, but their stress can be fairly low if their level of responsibility is also low. People experience different stress levels when exposed to the same factor. One factor is the employer's physical health. Regular exercise and a healthy lifestyle produce a large store of energy to cope with the stress. A second individual difference is the coping strategy employees use to ward off a particular stressor. Personality is the third and possibly the most important reason why people experience different levels of stress when faced with the same stressors. Individuals with low neuroticism usually experience lower stress level because by definition they are less prone to anxiety, depression, and other negative emotions. Extroverts also tend to experience lower stress than do the introverts, likely because extroversions include a degree of positive thinking and extroverts interact with others, which helps buffer the effects of stressors. People with a positive self-concept, high self-esteem, self-efficacy, and internal locus of control feel more confident and in control when faced with stressors. So these are some examples to remove the stressors. Flexible and limit work time, job sharing, telecommuting, personal leave, and child care support. In the first one, an important way to improve work-life balance is limiting the number of hours that employees are expected to work and giving them flexibility in the schedules of the work hours. In job sharing, splits a career positions between two people or more people so they experience less time-based stress between work and family. Telecommuting, and this is super important since the COVID-19, we have a change of the way to work because it involves working from home site close to home rather than commuting a longer distance to the office every day. So now a lot of people prefer this kind of work. Personal leave. Employers with strong work-life values offer extended maternity, paternity, and personal leave for employers to care for the new family or take advantage of the personal experience. And the child care support. Many large and medium-sized employers provide on-site or subside child care facilities. Child care support reduces stress because employers are less rushed to drop off children and less worried during the day about how well their child are doing. I don't have a child, but I can imagine people who has kids and they are super worried about the child care, the times, the schedules, that everything. So removing the stressor may be the ideal solution, but is not often not feasibility. An alternative strategy is to permanently or temporarily remove employees from the stressor. So impermanently, withdrawals occurs when employees are transferred to jobs that are more compatible with their abilities and values. So workers are being more happy because they are doing whatever they really like. And in temporality, some options like vacations and holidays are important opportunities for employers to recover from stress and re-energize for future challenges. So these are really good options to reduce the stress or withdraw from the stressors. How do you feel right now? Are you stressed? Do you have a lot of assignments? Do you have to work too much? So now I want to share with you a really good video on YouTube. Let's check.
When we are stressed, our bodies may respond by tensing up. This video will show 3 stretches that release tension for quick stress relief. Shoulder shrugs. Sit upright, arms by your side. Lift your shoulders to your ears, hold for 3 seconds, and release. Neck stretches. Sit upright, bring your right palm to the left side of your head. Gently tilt to the right. Feel the stretch on the left side of your neck. Hold for 3 seconds, then switch sides. Shoulder rolls. Sit up straight. Slowly roll your shoulders up and forward in smooth, circular motions. Switch to a backward roll and repeat. You can do these stretches anytime, anywhere for a quick stress relief.
How do you feel with this exercise? Much better? I will. So another important thing is receive social support. Social supports occur when co-workers, supervisors, family members, friends, and others provide emotional and or informational support to buffer an individual stress experience. For instance, one recent study found that employees whose managers are good and emphasize experience fewer stress symptoms and did employees whose managers were less empathetic. Social support potentially improves this person optimism and self-confidence because support makes people feel valued and worthy. Social support also provides information to help the person interpret, comprehend and possibly remove the stressor. Thank you so much, guys and professor. This is the end of my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions. So I want to ask you, what do you do to reduce your stress in your daily life? Thank you. Bye-bye.